It's the rundown brought to you by High Noon. Printer's not working. Don't need it. Tailgate season. Go to football games. Get your tailgate package. High Noon, we got the tequila. We got the vodka. Get it all. High Noons, we do our football show. They all hold them up. I love it. So High Noon, still the best seltzer on the market. Real vodka, real juice, real tequila, real juice. Get them everywhere. My Power 4 is passion fruit, pineapple, pear, watermelon, and we got a new flavor coming out that's going to crack it, and I'm keeping that under my hat till it comes out. But get your High Noons. All right. For the first, well, I guess this has been happening now for a couple years where we're all losers on this show.
Yeah, welcome, Dave.
There's a lot. Well, to be honest.
Yeah, but you're also the only one claiming your team is a top 5 team. Like,
I didn't claim that this week.
He actually specifically said he's starting to think they're not a top 5 team.
I did say that. And by the way, we're not going to joke around. I'm still head and shoulders above your two teams.
You are, for the first time, what I've always said about you is like you usually are very right about these things, whether it's Patriot takes or just when you're in an argument and you're debating, you always like have the facts on your side or you're correct about your takes. And this is where it's starting to get silly.
Well, no, I will go. I guess we'll start with the Patriots. I will say I put out 6 teams that I thought could win the Super Bowl before the year. Eagles and Dolphins were both on it. We both had the ball in the red zone with a chance to win and had a first down reversed. So, yeah, the Patriots are in the top 5 right now. The results are the results. Mac is playing 1,000% better than he did. He had 2 bad throws in 2 games. And I will say, we'll get into you guys later. I wrote this blog today, and a lot of people are like, I'm spin zoning it. I actually think when the book is written on this season, the Patriots may have caused more damage to the Dolphins than the Dolphins do the Patriots, because the Patriots defense, that umbrella thing they were playing, shut Miami down for the most part. Nobody's been able to do that with the healthy Tua. I've seen so many times where the Patriots give the blueprint to the rest of the NFL. Greatest show on turf. They did it with the Rams again, the Texans. You show a certain defense. I think the Dolphins may struggle against that type of defense.
But, okay, so I saw your blog, and you're right that it happens because it's a copycat league, but
yeah,
Raheem Mostert just ran the ball down your dick. That's what happens with umbrella coverage.
Well, no, Mozart,
it worked pretty well.
He had 121 yards on 18 carries.
Yeah, but I mean, I
mean that is running the ball like very well.
I don't know, down my dick. I mean,
we'll see. Down your face.
Listen,
it's a weird game to pick to be like we did something to them.
I thought that game would be very high scoring.
I did too.
The Patriots got stops when they needed to get stops, and Tua didn't. John Rich blast. I didn't think that. I was thinking we wouldn't be able to stop the Dolphins at all. We did stop them, and the defense certainly played well enough to win. The offense, garbage in the first half. We couldn't run the ball at fucking all. Like, couldn't run it even an inch. There was one series that really killed them. They had 3rd and they had 2nd and 1. They ran up the middle, stuffed. Then they ran up the middle again, stuffed, and then they punted in plus territory. They came roaring back. Listen, 0-2, they're not in good shape, but they belong. The Patriots belong. The Bears and the Jets don't belong.
What makes you say that?
I mean, Dave. Every team is better than the Bears right now.
Well, yeah, but Dan, you guys thought Mr. Ohio
Of course
State.
I did. Yeah, I had blind faith.
That was a mistake.
It was stupid. And I'll say Mac Jones, Mac Jones will still throw like an interception a game where you're like that one where he threw where his receiver was out of bounds. It's like, why are you trying to throw it in there? But Mac Jones throws with anticipation, something that I would kill for Justin Fields to be able to do.
He made some great throws. He's made 2 horrible throws in 2 games that arguably could cost him, but he's made great throws. Gesicki has to get the first down before you even start that pitch thing. You're like a tight end, get 1 yard. But, Kevin, what do you mean? They played 2 very good teams. They were in the game versus both teams.
I mean, yeah, but if I were to sit here and talk about a team like moral victory bullshit who's 0-2, the only reason you're saying that is because of your past. That any other team that just lost 2 games, claiming that we're in the top 5. It's like, no, you're not.
You're convoluting facts. I said after week 1, I thought we were in the top 5. I do not think we're in the top 5 anymore.
Okay, you belong. What does belong mean?
There's no team that we line up with, and I'm like, we don't have a shot. You guys, without Rodgers, who knows what would have been with them, you guys are dead, no shot. The Bears, dead, no shot. You guys have 2 of the worst teams in the league.
Yes. I don't know why you're saying that. Like, I don't agree.
Well, he's coming at me like I'm being the Patriots.
Well, I just don't think that
the Patriots can be a 9-17.
Your bar is like you're better than the Jets without Rodgers and the Bears. It's like, okay,
well, it just happens that's your 2 teams.
Right. But that's
sure. But if you were talking to, anybody else and you were like, we belong, and they'd be, shut the fuck up. Your team's 0-2.
You guys are you're a middle of the road team where it's like you can be competitive with really good teams, but I wouldn't you're not going to beat the really, really good teams. You guys will beat up on the bad teams like our teams that suck. Agreed there. But do you think you're in the class of the AFC right now?
No, not right now. I can't say that at 0-2. I can't say that at 0-2.
You could have said it at 1-1.
You said 0-1 and one game happens and you completely change your story. It's like,
well, there's a big difference between 0-2 and 1-1.
And in a double difference, you could legitimately feel how I felt at the end of the Eagles. Like that first quarter, they gave it away, and then they come back, and I thought they outplayed them, but then they do the same exact thing. It's like deja vu, and it's like, well, once you can look past, but that slow start for the second straight time, the same. And by the way, a lot of it, I really do like Mac. They can't run the ball, and their wide receivers room ain't that great. Like, I think Mac is a pretty good quarterback. I really do. Like, you look at the weapons he's got right now, and it ain't great.
Agreed.
I think, like I said, you're usually not wrong about these things, but I think you want Mac to be good. I think you, really want that.
All right.
I don't know.
What do you think Mac on the Jets is? Right now.
Well, that's a lot of people we were talking about it earlier on radio because Jets fans were praising Zach Wilson yesterday, being like he wasn't the problem.
Right.
Like, yes, okay, there were bigger problems yesterday, but he still fucking sucked. So all of a sudden we're right back to where we were, and it's year 3. He's doing some of the same things. Like, there's been a little bit of improvement in his first half yesterday, and people were like, no, he's showing promise. And I think there's a little bit of that goes on with Mac, just a worse version of it with Zach Wilson.
He was a Pro Bowler. He had one bad year with a defensive coordinator. Let me put this
I think alternate.
He played in the Pro Bowl.
Okay, Mitch Trubisky also played in the Pro Bowl.
He's a Pro Bowler. I don't know what to say to that. That's how that works.
Tyler Huntley played in a Pro Bowl last year.
Listen, I think
you even know what team he played on?
Huntley, he sounds like he was on the Ravens.
There you go. Yeah, he was the backup. He played like half the season.
I don't think Mac is Trent Dilfer that you can win a Super Bowl despite him. I think he is more than talented enough to help win Super Bowls if he's in the right spot, which right now they got to step it up. So enough of the page. We'll do that.
The thing about Mac is, and I said this all last year, he got fucked last year. So it's hard to judge him. It's like year 3, but year 2 was completely lost by the fact that they had Matt Patricia as their OC.
Totally. And they're better play. Now, is it Mac or whatever that he can't throw the ball more than 12 yards, which means you can bring 1,000 guys into the box, and maybe that's why he can't run the football. All right, so we'll see. They're 0-2. The Jets, they're done because of the quarterback. That's fine. Everyone's talking the defense. I want to talk more about Sauce Gardner specifically.
Yeah, he's been, yesterday that was insane. He got fucked.
One of the all-time talk. First sign of trouble, guy deactivates his social media. That is the sign of a loser. Kevin?
Or is it a sign of a professional? A guy who's like, I need to be better, and I don't need any distraction, and I don't deserve to be talking shit anyway right now, so I'm going to shut it down and get back to work.
You think that's what he's doing?
It's not a bad spin zone.
Could be.
It's not a bad.
What about
spin
Breece
zone.
Hall? Breece Hall, one game, he does the 4 football emoji. I mean, to me, and I'll say it stops short of Joe Douglas because I'm friends with him, but that is a systematic problem when you lose a game. and they're loud and they're boisterous and they love talking. They have one loss and they're just meltdown.
Listen, when your owner is wearing a fucking platinum chain in the booth in his box week 1, listen, there are things about it I don't love, but they're still fucking very talented players. And I don't know. What do you want me to tell you, man? My season ended 35 seconds into the year. What do you want me to do?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Dan, and now you, Eddie, all these guys, you were Justin Fields guys. He stinks. And, it's depressing because at least the Jets and Kevin, they can point to something and be like, well, Rodgers got hurt. That was what all this faith was in. You guys just appear I don't know, to never have had a chance, really.
Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. He's bad. I don't know what to say. It sucks.
Yeah, but when you don't have a quarterback for so long, and then there's a glimmer of hope, you gotta go all in on it and be like, please,
you have
maybe.
to.
And then you look like an asshole when it's not. But it's like, well,
you know what nickname I had for him last year, and it hasn't even gotten me. The Bears would kill to get back in this
the
2-minute man.
Yeah,
where this guy was putting stats up, and then he kept getting the ball. He had 400 yards passing, 1,000 yards rushing, and then it's like, all right, we need one more score, and suddenly he couldn't go down the field. I will say that about Mac in these 2-minute drills, they ain't easy. Like the good teams, when you get the ball with like 2 minutes, it's like, oh, we got to go score. It's pop, 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 pop. Patriots don't do that. Patriots, every yard's a war.
Yesterday was very bad. The coaching is bad. Like the both things can be true. I'm not making an excuse for Justin Fields. He doesn't see the field well. Like he clearly doesn't see the field well. He's clearly not. He's not trusting everything. He's basically waiting for guys to get Ohio State open, which just doesn't happen in the NFL. The coaching is horrendous, though. That pick 6 at the end of the game. I don't know if you guys saw the clip, but Levante David in the locker room after was like, yeah, we knew exactly what was coming. And then I was watching someone posted the film. They ran the exact same screen back to back, exact same play. Second time they pick 6 it. Like it's a debacle from start to finish. It's just a horrendous thing. They got to play the Chiefs next week. Like it's bad. It's all over. I blind faith didn't work.
Blind faith got me again.
Yeah, it's just I don't know what to say.
You know what? I'd rather hear like the Jets fans yesterday who were talking about Zach Wilson, like he had a great game. Like, and I get it that he might not be the worst part of the game, but still a very big problem. I'd rather just admit it than be.
Yeah, there is 2 different situations though, so different. Because again, the Jets. I don't know what I would be doing if I was a Jets fan, because really you would have had no hope going into the season if it wasn't for Rodgers, and then he gets hurt second play, so it's like, what do you do? Whereas the Bears, I think, thought they were building towards something. Correct. It's like, we got our guy, and now you just have nothing.
Well, we have 2 picks. We have 2 picks, and the Bears haven't won a game. They've have 12 straight losses, so they might just.
Would you take a quarterback?
Yeah. At this point, unless Fields does some kind of miraculous change where everything looks different for the rest of the year, you have to be honest with what I'm watching right now. And again, coaching is horrendous. I think they've overcoached him to a point where his brain is just like scrambled. But you can't win in the league if you can't make like anticipation throws and see guys open before they're open. Like that is the definition of being a good quarterback in the NFL, and it's just not there. He's gone backwards with that stuff. So yeah, you'd have to take a quarterback as it stands right now.
Another team that's in, I would say, deep trouble, more so than last year, is the Bengals. A trendy Super Bowl pick, 0-2. Burrow, his calf injury or whatever is bothering him again. They made it all the way back last year after going 0-2. The Patriots won the Super Bowl after going 0-2. But I don't know how many times you can do it. The Bengals do not look good at all. At all.
No. And did you see Nicky Smokes? That was his game of the year. I banned him from game of the year.
That was crazy. And then he's like, I don't care. The Dolphins won.
I was like, he no longer can release game of the years. He can do game of the weeks, no game of the years. Yeah, the Bengals, I still would trust Joe Burrow overall and like them figuring it out. But they look like the first half they were getting booed in Cincinnati. They had like 35 yards of passing. So it's bad.
amazing when and I like Joe Burrow, but
I hate to say it, but
a year ago they were calling Arrowhead Burrowhead.
I know. It goes so quick. That's why I hate to say it, but sustained success like the Patriots had is like
20 years.
I mean, it's crazy that you can be like I mean, he was like the dude, and they were one of the teams, and then in a matter of 2 weeks, never mind.
Yeah, it comes and goes. I mean, you can't being hurt, missing the entire preseason, but it's tough to fall behind that 8 ball. Anything else in the NFL? Cowboys obviously look great.
The Cowboys, I was gonna say the Jets, did not look good, but the Cowboys were fucking good.
Yeah. Cowboys, 49ers right now, I think the 2 most impressive teams probably in each in the NFL, I would say.
Your guy Sean McVay, Dave. I don't think I've ever seen that in the NFL.
Unbelievable.
Spiking the ball and then kicking a field goal for the spread. Insane.
Unbelievable. Did he comment on that?
I don't know, but
I mean, I guess you could say there's 1 second.
But there wasn't.
No, I know, but he was hoping there would be. If you take the onside kick back for a touchdown somehow, whatever. I was happy. Plus 7.5 winner. We also had this fight video, and I think Jordy said it. There should be a fight area of every NFL stadium. Like, if you're ready to fight, just walk into this part of the stadium and you can just fight. No one cares, because there's always been. I used to rally against this when we were doing the blackout tour, where people they came through the blackout tour like a fight broke out. It's like, have you gone to an NFL game? There's like 3,000. This video is pretty amazing. A Bengals fan wearing like Zubaz overalls is on the ground with cop security, gets taken up by the cop security and just headbutts a guy basically unconscious while being apprehended.
Being restrained. That was the cleanest headbutt I've ever seen in my life.
What happens to that guy? Like, what I guess, can you get double probate? Like, you're already going.
That was assault. I mean, the best part.
What if he's already arrested for assault?
Yeah. The best part about it is the glasses. The sunglasses made that a 10 out of 10 headbutt, because it the crack of the sunglasses and the sunglasses flying, that prop just adds to it.
I mean, that guy, you're thinking to yourself, this guy can't do anything to me. Like, he was completely defenseless because he's cuffed and he's being held. So that guy's like, what are you going to do? Bam.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario.
I laughed at this picture. Takeo Spikes at the Bills game, in an obstructed view. He's like, "This, I wish I could have stayed, but literally a staircase was taking half of his view." I thought that was a funny little tidbit from Takeo. All right, so that's the NFL. Do we have any more NFL stuff?
No.
Okay. Dan, did you stay up for this, the Colorado game?
I fell asleep in the fourth quarter because I made the mistake. I stopped myself. I spit one. I take Unisom or melatonin. So I popped 2 in the third quarter. I swallowed one and I spit one out because I was like, wait, what the fuck am I doing? And then I fell asleep because I was zonked out. So I missed.
I fell asleep 28-17 in Colorado State in total control of the game. I was stunned when I woke up, saw it. Great comeback for Dion. He's got it all. He's got Little Wayne doing the intro. So Colorado continues to be the talk of the football world. This week they go to Oregon, 21-point underdogs. I'll be the first to say it. I think it's a close game. Now it hurts that they lost Travis Hunter, but it wouldn't shock me if he played.
No, he's got a lacerated liver.
So how did he come back in the game?
I think he was like, I'm fine. And then he probably was like, wait, I'm not fine.
That's obviously a huge loss.
Yeah, 3 weeks, they said.
The unbelievable cheap shot. Chippy game. How college football actually, outside that cheap shot, should be. Shador playing unbelievable. Yeah, I think they give him a game.
Wow.
Even without him, because I'm not sold on Oregon. I don't think there's any world beaters in college football. So
it's so weird to me, and obviously we're speaking from a place of bias because we know Dion, but it's so weird to me how much hate Dion in Colorado gets when it's objectively this college football season, we have not had a lot of big games. We don't really know who's good. This has carried September in terms of watchability and things to talk about. Yet if they lose to Oregon, which they probably will because they're 21-point underdogs, people are going to come shitting on Colorado. Colorado sucked for so long. I don't know why you would view this entire story as a bad thing. It's crazy.
Jack Mack with his like they shouldn't have rushed the field take.
Crazy.
What a loser take that was.
Yeah.
You come back against basically your arch rival in fantastic fashion, crazy double overtime win, and you're 3-0 when people said you were going to be 0-3. Of course you rush the field.
Okay, but let's say that was not a comeback and not a double overtime win. Just a regular like wire to wire, they win 24-10.
They probably don't rush it.
I don't know that I would criticize it, but I don't think they would rush it then.
Here's the thing with the rushing the field debate that happens every time. So I'm of the belief, and I used to actually kind of be like, this is bullshit. Like you're this team. Why would you do that? It's college kids having fun. It's a bunch of people online who forget what it's like to be a college kid having fun, who are criticizing them. And then people who say like, well, if you rush it every time, it doesn't become special. Well, that's their problem. If Colorado rushes every time, it won't be as fun the fifth time. That's not our problem. That's their problem.
I do still subscribe to like your Alabama or your Michigan, and you don't rush the field versus inferior, but it just doesn't apply to me at all for Colorado.
For Colorado, right.
Yeah, like I don't think Alabama should be rushing the field against Florida if they won at the end.
But if they do, it's college kids having fun. I don't fucking care. Like what? Yeah, it just doesn't. It's crazy to sit and be like, what the fuck? Why are they rushing the field?
Yeah, I mean, listen.
But to me, that puts the ball in the teeth for your enemies.
Of course, that's what I'm saying. Like you have to deal with the repercussions. But in terms of the actual rushing, who cares?
Yeah. Mike Babcock.
See ya.
Biz took him down.
See you later, Mike.
Cancel culture, Biz.
Yeah, cancel culture biz. Of course, he was the first to basically report that Mike Babcock met with players on Columbus, asked to see their cell phone, and then would stream it, airplay it. And Biz is like, what the fuck? Some players sort of defended Babcock. The younger players seem to have an issue with it. The NHL Players Association ends up, and by the way, all the people who hate us were like, oh, what's Biz talking about? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then did a 180. Turns out Biz right. It's a crazy thing. Let me see your cell phone. That's an insane thing to ask.
So weird. What do you think it is? Because at first I thought it was like a power thing, like I'm the coach, you're the player. But then when I heard it posed to me as like he was asking an 18-year-old prospect to look through his pictures, I was like, that sounds like something different altogether. Like,
no,
I don't know.
I think from what I mean, I don't know Babcock at all, but like, I think he's like a head games, like mindfuck type guy.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably what it is, but it just felt weird. Like he was asking the young players.
Like he may use that against you, like later. Like the big story with him is Marner with Toronto, where he's like, "Who do you think has the least effort or tries the least?" And then he told everybody else. So I don't know. He gets information, and who knows where it comes back later down the line. You know?
Right.
My thing was the people believing that, like thinking that this was made up. Like
it's crazy.
Why would Ryan Whitney and Paul Bissonnette make this like?
And by the way,
what?
Biz is not a controversy guy.
No,
he does not like
he's on TNT. Ryan wants to just play golf all day. None of them want to be embroiled in a fucking controversy.
No, they're not. They don't. Biz does not court controversy, as I said. And plus, by their answer right off the bat, you knew it was true.
Right.
Because one of the guys like, well, yeah, he took my phone. Well, if one guy's saying it's yes and Biz is saying people are complaining, it's obviously true.
Yeah.
The whole thing, good job by Biz and Witt and RA and Grinnell and all those guys. But like the nothing drives me more insane than these journalists who then just move the goalposts on us. And they're like, hope they keep that same energy for the next story. Shut the fuck up. You didn't believe them when they were trying to defend players. You don't get to then just be like, well, but look at what they don't do everything right all the time. Shut the fuck up.
And if any of those other hockey media guys had that story, they would have been like, oh my God, we have to protect the youth and protect the players, and this is inappropriate, and blah, 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 blah.
It tells you how fucked up we are as a society that these people will see a story like this reported by Barstool and they'll actively root for it to be wrong. Like, not because they're trying to defend the players. They just want us to be wrong. It's like you would rather us be wrong and Babcock keep his job and keep doing this weird shit than the alternative of saying, half apology. Hope you keep the same energy going forward.
Not apples to apples, but like when I was my shit, people are rooting for it to be true.
Correct.
When I'm like, it's not true, they're like, we hope it's true. It's like, well, that would be really bad for the women involved.
Right.
Like, why are you rooting for it? Yeah, crazy. T.O. versus Stephen A.
Whew.
Has this progressed at all? Last time I saw it, they were just kind of like Stephen A. was saying he was going to spend the entire show exposing T.O. And T.O. was like, do it. I have nothing to hide. And then vague like threats about lawsuits. And I don't know if it's progressed, but it was interesting.
Well, it resurfaced again because Stephen A. went on Joe Budden's podcast and he trashed Max Kellerman. He was like, I didn't like working with the dude.
I saw that. Yep.
Yeah. And that's kind of what. So somebody quote tweeted T.O. The quote where T.O. said, Max Kellerman is more black than you. That resurfaced because of the Joe Budden podcast where they were like, this is the real reason why Stephen A. doesn't like him. So it just kind of keeps coming back up. That Kellerman shit was weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like for a guy who really didn't have a reason to do that, that was like as harsh of a segment as you'll see. I mean, I
saw him backtracking, sort of being like, I don't have nothing against them. I just didn't think we had the best show.
Yeah, but it was crazy.
Yeah, that would have been like fine, but then it was like by every measurement, I was bigger than him, and he didn't deserve to be on the same platform with me with the cachet that he has, and we haven't talked since, and that's okay with me. It was just like, whoa.
It's crazy to be the guy who pushed someone out and then be doing this as well. Like you won the war, Stephen A. So why would you continue it?
You wonder if there is some sort of, if that shit did get under his skin or what, there's more to it because there's no reason to do that.
Did you
also categorically deny Stephen A. saying the reason it didn't work was because he wasn't a journalist or a player.
Yeah, that's
like that. It's entertainment. It's like what
he was a journalist.
Entertaining or not?
Max Kellerman was a journalist. He was. Remember, he was a boxing journalist when he was 15.
Yeah, I think he just didn't have like a column. Like he never had a formal,
which is such an old school way to look at. Like that doesn't matter at all.
Did you see, Dave, that the person who actually like squashed the beef was Kyrie Irving? Kyrie Irving,
of course.
Kyrie Irving replied to Stephen A. and was like, "You guys are acting like children. Be a man and go call him." And then Stephen A. kind of stood down, which makes me think Stephen A. didn't really have a lot to expose. And it feels like Stephen A. might have gotten into deep water here because what the fuck does T.O. have to lose? Like everyone has their impression of T.O. Like it's not going to get worse.
Yes,
dude. T.O. The tweets of Stephen A. being like, "I'll spend the whole episode on you," and T.O. being like, "Go ahead."
Yeah, T.O. would love that. T.O. definitely subscribes to any publicity is good publicity. Yeah. Like there's nothing you can say about T.O.
What are you gonna say? He's a diva on set.
Yeah, okay. No fucking kidding. Yeah.
I cannot believe Kyrie squashed it.
Yeah.
Last one, Lauren Boebert. So
hot.
She was caught in a movie theater. Not a movie theater. She was going to Beetlejuice, like a kids play, right?
A regional performance of Beetlejuice. That's important.
So she's getting her titties fondled and she's giving them a hand job over the jeans. Vaping, gets kicked out of the theater. Then she originally was like, I was just being eccentric. I wasn't vaping, but there's clear video of her vaping. I saw Dan. You thought it was hot. She looked good in the gold dress.
It was hot. Are you saying it wasn't hot?
No, it. I don't know that I'm turned on by people like hooking up in a kids theater.
Well, listen, I understand that it's in a kids theater, but I'm not there, so I don't give a fuck.
And like pregnant lady behind is like, please stop vaping in my face.
Listen, there's some hypocritical nature of all of this. The fact that she's like the morality police and she's getting, titty fucked at Beetlejuice, but I watch
kids everywhere. If you're watching the aisles, it's just like 5-year-olds coming in the aisles.
If
it's in an X-rated like theater, I'm gonna be like, that's hot. But the kids play like elementary school Beetlejuice play.
Well,
and you're in a crowded, you're on the aisle. I don't know.
Listen, here's where it comes down to me. I watched the video. Her tits looked awesome.
Huge.
Awesome.
Great tits.
And they were like, getting into it. And then I watched the video of them getting kicked out and they're like smiling and laughing. And they're like, I said, my problem with this video, it was too short. I wanted to see what happened when they got home. Like, you gave us that. They went fucking to town when they got home.
100%.
Let me pose this. Who is hornier? The people feeling each other up at the regional performance of Beetlejuice or the Detroit Lions fan, Dan?
Oh,
the Texan.
That was guy. All time. Did you see that, dude?
No. What was it?
It was one of those, like, they catch him over your shoulder texting, and he said, I want a video of you squirting. And then he followed up and said, if you can't squirt, just video yourself pissing.
Yeah. This is so I'm not a big, I think it's kind of a scumbag move to take pictures of someone texting.
Me too.
Big time.
They did black it out. So, and it is funny. So this is, we did the math because we used the context clues of the time. It was right around like the second quarter.
Well, go ahead. But that's what I was going to say. An NFL game is long.
It is long, Dave, but this is Barry Sanders Day. Probably the biggest Lions home game, like to start the season since '93 when Barry Sanders, last time they won a playoff game. And so you got to be locked in. Like if Superfan of Detroit Dawn saw this, they would be disgusted. So here's the text. The woman says, give me a few. I'm going home after this. He said, okay. Then she said, then I'm fingering myself for a while. You've got my pussy throbbing. He said, if you can't squirt, then just video you pissing. She replied, oh, I'm squirting. He said, I want you to piss on my hard. He didn't finish that text. And then he said, I want you so fucking bad. She wrote back, I want you looking up at me while I watch you eat my pussy. He replied, fuck yes. I want to come see you over after this game. You got to be locked into the game. You got to be locked into the game.
Disagree.
This is Lions fans. Look, you got a good team this year. They need every single one of those fans locked in because the other part about it is second quarter, he's walking around rock hard for the rest of the game.
Yeah, but there's a couple things. NFL games, as I said, are fucking long.
I get it, Dave. But dude,
but it's hard to break bad habits. You're a Lions fan. When's the last time a Lions fan can be like, oh, I'm concentrating the game? You just bad habits.
But the Lions have the ball with a minute 45 left, 3 timeouts at the 50-yard line to try to go win the game. And this guy's like, I can't wait till this chick pisses on my dick and says it's squirting. You can't do that.
Telling a woman to send a video of you pissing is so wild.
It's also so funny because it actually like speaks to like every guy. Like I don't know the difference between squirting and pissing.
Nobody.
It's the same shit.
It's the same thing. Make the liquid come out.
Listen, I give that guy a pass. Again, I'm much more on the NFL's long, college games long. Sometimes you just get fucking distracted. The Lauren Boebert, it is actually stunning.
Yeah.
Like, and again, you can be Normal B, but for everything she stands for and says and does, to do that in that public of an environment, I don't care how fucked you are, and then just lie so easily, be like, I wasn't vaping. What are you talking about?
If Lauren Boebert just said, you got me. You fucking got me. Like I would have been fine with it. But to say that you weren't getting, fondled in a kid's theater.
Or you know what the thing would have been? It would have been like the Schindler's List, to like go with a Seinfeld reference or something. Be like, but I mean, a kid's play.
Counterpoint, it was hot. If she was ugly, if it was two ugly people groping, I'd be like, throw them in jail.
Yeah.
If you got to watch how the kids coming down the aisle. I mean, it was just.
I wasn't watching that. I got to be honest.
After kids. So, she crazy. She did look good, but
her tits looked awesome.
Yeah, no,
the dress was awesome.
Huge.
Yeah, huge. I think they're.
Where does she live?
I think Colorado is where she's governing from.
Because that was like packed house for a regional Beetlejuice play. And by the way, like. She did dress to the tens like she was going to see fucking what's that? The
Hamilton.
Hamilton. She looked like she was going to Hamilton in Colorado. All right, that's the rundown. That's everything we got. I'll talk to you guys.